While Donald Trump is already using his status as the president-elect of the United States to solve his legal problems and enrich himself in the most corrupt ways as we would expect Donald Trump to do, there is one problem that is made much worse by him being elected president of the United States, and that's his Melania problem, which is becoming much more apparent than ever in the days following the 2024 election, and really in the most humiliating way for Donald Trump. And we are going to get into all of that. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you enjoy our channel and want to be a part of this movement resisting Trump over the next 4 years, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really means the world to me. Now, before we get into what happened with Melania Trump on election night and the days following that is so embarrassing to Donald Trump, I think we need to bring up another key player close to Donald Trump in Elon Musk. Now, I want to get into an article that was recently published about Musk and Trump that I think makes a lot of sense in the context of Donald's relationship with Melania. J.D. Vance says U.S. could drop support for NATO if Europe tries to regulate Elon Musk's platforms. Republican vice presidential nominee says Germans and other nations, not Russia, would have to fund Ukraine's reconstruction. J.D. Vance has suggested that American support for NATO should be predicated on the European Union not regulating Elon Musk and his X social media platform. The Republican vice presidential nominee and Ohio senator claimed in an interview with YouTuber Sean Ryan that a top EU official had threatened to arrest the billionaire if he allowed former President Donald Trump back on X. Quoting Vance, the leader, I forgot exactly which official it was with the European Union, but sent Elon this threatening letter that basically said, we're going to arrest you if you platform Donald Trump, who, by the way, is likely the next president of the United States, Vance said in the interview published last week. Trump's running mate has suggested that U.S. support for NATO should be used as a cudgel to get the Europeans in line. So what Americans should be saying is, if NATO wants us to continue supporting them, and NATO wants us to continue to be a good participant in the military alliance, why don't you respect American values and American free speech? Vance said, it's insane that we would support a military alliance if that military alliance isn't going to be pro-free speech. I think we can do both. But we've got to say American power comes with certain things attached. One of these things is free speech, especially in our European allies. So I wanted to start with that article not only because it is a terrifying reminder of the abuses of power that will go on within the Trump administration over the next 4 years, especially with Elon Musk, but it shows who is the most important relationship to Donald Trump. It is certainly not his wife, Melania. It is Elon Musk, and that idea was only reinforced in a photo from election night that we are going to get into. But before we do, if we could quickly read an article predicting what Melania Trump was going to be doing if Donald Trump ever returned to the White House. Melania Trump will have a long-distance relationship with the White House if Trump wins again, First Lady experts predict. As Melania Trump has long made clear, she did not enjoy her time as First Lady, as evidenced by, among other things, the fact that she delayed her initial move to Washington, the infamous Who Gives an F About Christmas tape, the reports that she was miserable and very, very unhappy with her life, and the massive grin on her face when she disembarked at Palm Beach on January 20th, 2021. Speaking to Axios, several First Lady experts predicted this week that Melania will not make the White House her home base in a potential second Trump term. The more likely scenario, they believe, would be for her to continue jetting between Palm Beach, where she spent the past 4 years, in New York, where Barron is attending NYU. As Axios notes, the former First Lady has been effectively AWOL on the campaign trail and notably did not attend her husband's hush money trial or his post-conviction press conference that took place in the building where she has a home and she was staying at the time. So it's probably unlikely at this point that she's dying to spend more time with the guy. And all of that leads us to election night, where Donald Trump's granddaughter, Kai Trump, posted a photo that went mega viral for how humiliating it was for Donald Trump, because it was a collection of all of his family members that were spending election night with him, except for one. So let's take a look. As you can clearly see in this photo of the Trump family, Melania is noticeably absent, but who is there is Elon Musk. Now, I've seen many commenting now that Elon Musk appears to be Donald Trump's first lady, and they're kind of right. Elon helped buy this election for Donald Trump. His interference buying votes in Pennsylvania was obviously illegal, although Elon Musk skirting around justice, as billionaires like himself and Donald Trump always do. But this is now the most important person in the Trump administration. Donald Trump says Elon is going to be in charge of slashing the government budget, and he was already on a call between Donald Trump and President Zelensky. This is absolutely terrifying, and something that Tim Walz tried to warn us about in this clip right here.
Well, look, I'm not going to waste all the time I'm in. I'm going to talk about his running mate. His running mate, Elon Musk. Seriously. Where is Senator Vance after he got asked the simplest question in the world at the debate? Did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election? And after 2 weeks, he finally said, no, he didn't. That's where he's been spending his time. But that's it. So, look, Elon's on that stage, jumping around, skipping like a dipshit on these things. You know it. Think about it. Think about that. That guy is literally the richest man in the world, spending millions of dollars to help Donald Trump buy an election.
Well, J.D. Vance is also sucking up to Elon Musk and really doing whatever he can for him. It's clear that the person closest to Trump in this administration will be Musk, not only in slashing the government budget and attacking the programs that are most successful in helping everyday Americans, but really doing whatever he wants and pushing and administering disinformation on behalf of Donald Trump, pushing the agenda that the Trump administration wants online to our own deficit. That's what it's going to be about. That's what billionaires are going to do for and with Donald Trump. It's because he's bought and owned by them, as we saw in this ad right here.
Donald Trump is owned by billionaires. He plays Americans for fools while promising them everything. It started in 2016 with Peter Thiel, the Silicon Valley mastermind, and continues today with Peter's pet, J.D. Vance.
I love you guys.
Steve Schwartzman, the CEO of Blackstone. Since Schwartzman only took home nearly $1 billion last year, he really needs his tax cut. Bitcoin boys like Mark Andreessen, who want Trump to pump up what economists call the biggest Ponzi scheme in history. Kooks like Richard Uihlein, who, like GOP supporter Betsy DeVos, want to eliminate the Department of Education. Putin simps who side with Russia, like bad poker player and part-time podcaster David Sachs. These billionaires and players think they've bought the presidency. It's up to every American to make sure they don't get what they paid for.
Donald Trump was never running for president for any other reason than to keep himself out of jail, which at least for the next 4 years it looks like he will be doing, and to write another big tax cut for himself and his rich friends. He's bought and paid for. He always has been, and he is more so now than ever. And that should scare us. But it should especially scare us considering how much we have seen Donald Trump cognitively decline and the role that these billionaires will play in really pushing all the policy that they want, while Donald Trump is just typing away with those tiny fingers on Truth Social, throwing ketchup and playing golf. That should terrify us, especially at the prospect, which I don't know if this is worse or not, but of J.D. Vance potentially replacing Donald Trump at some point in his administration or playing shadow president. Just take a look at this ad from the Lincoln Project that spells it all out.
You're in trouble, Donald. In the courts, in the streets, in your own party. But there's one big problem you never saw coming. Turn around. He's right behind you. It's JD. His billionaire friends mock you. Why do you think they forced JD Vance on you? Age is getting to you, Donald, and you're just too slow to see the plan. If you win, JD will come for you. You won't see him until it's too late. He won't wait until you make a mistake. JD's plot to invoke the 25th Amendment is already underway. Your cabinet betrayed you before. Why would it be different now? And with Democrats in the majority, no one will stop him. Republicans want someone younger, smarter, someone stable. A leader who will execute Project 2025 without your problems. Rupert's Wall Street Journal said Vance's version of Trump is better than the real thing. JD switched from never Trump hater to your running mate in record time. You thought that was real? You think he won't stab you in the back to seize 10 years of power in the White House? So yes, Donald, They really are out to get you, and the one who'll betray your presidency is right by your side.
Now, we certainly don't like to get too conspiratorial on this show, but it is a possibility that considering Donald Trump's cognitive state, J.D. Vance will play a much bigger role in the administration than most vice presidents would. And that should scare us, because we know what he wants to do with our government. He wants to rip it apart and use it to benefit only the top 0.001%, as they all strip us of our rights and civil liberties. This is what we are up against in this Trump administration, and it's why we have to be more tuned in than ever and push back like we never have before. And that is what we're going to be doing and talking about on this show. And every single day, I'm going to be trying to find as many resources as possible to make that job easier for us all. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you stick around and follow this channel. And until next time, I'll see you soon.